take it home with you. And of course, I'm not implying that you want to take your work home with you, but just as far as homework from here, maybe some suggestions about, because what journaling does is it allows us to put our thoughts on the paper, and when we pick it back up and read it, we're able to sometimes, like if we're writing down the circumstance that happened, we're able to see it in a different perspective. And so the circumstance may be like present itself in such a terrible way, but then that circumstance can trigger emotions that are like, I feel terrible, I'm a bad person, or whatever those kind of feelings that, or this situation I can't tolerate. But writing it down, you can do things, you can look at it like, is this the most terrible thing? Can I tolerate it? And that kind of thing. And I'm going to give you a little handout to take home with that kind of information on it. And what it is it spells out like what the presenting circumstances are that causes it, triggered that emotion, and you kind of fill that in. And then you would write down what the emotion you had as a result of that. Fill that in. And then there's a little slot for how is it making you feel at that moment? Is it making you feel like you just can't stand it, or, that kind of thing? Or is this, something that person is terrible, that kind of thing. And then the next little slot, it has a little area where it says, is it really as bad as I think it is? And then you fill that in. And then you move forward. And what this practice does, or this assignment kind of does, is it helps you to move past the acuity of the circumstance, and helps you to see it from a little bit of a different perspective, and you're the one in control of your own emotions, and you're the only person that, like we said before, that you can only control your response. In as much as you would love for that man, woman, I think you said woman, to act different, we just know that that is something that we can't do, so we can control us. And so by doing that, you move towards a different, looking at it in a different light. And then even though there's positive emotions and negative emotions, and even though there's emotions that feel like they're so like you can't tolerate them anymore, you can move to a place that is. So I'm going to give you that full handout, and then I want to see you back in a couple of weeks. So we've already scheduled our appointment for the next couple of weeks, and then we'll come back and see how everything's going. Okay. All right. Okay, Andrea. Thank you for coming today.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Well, hello, Andrea. It's been a time. Here we are on the 11 weeks we've been seeing each other. Wow, this time has gone by really fast.
It really has.
And you've been working really hard. And I've noticed a lot of change.
Thank you.
And everything. And so I just wanted to briefly talk to you about that, and just I want you to tell me how you have been able to use the tools that we've talked about, and also how you're feeling as far as at work, and then also maybe what you've been doing as far as relaxation and everything, how that's all affected you and everything. Because,
Okay.
I mean, this is our last visit,
Mm-hmm.
and and so with that being said, unless there's another circumstance that arises and you feel like you need to come
Right.
for more, time to talk. I mean, of course, that is something that we can look at
Okay.
and everything. And also, before you get started, I want to let you know that there's a lot of resources out there, and this is like not just because we're not going to see each other anymore, or this may be the last part of this session.
Mm-hmm.
There are groups that you can in the community, and I can give you those resources and information. And of course, again, if you ever get into a situation where it's overwhelming and you need to talk, again, of course, we're here for sure. And and definitely, if there was a circumstance that made you feel like suicidal or anything like that, of course, we would want you to seek an emergency help or whatever, something like that. So I know that you have not expressed that as of at this point, but I do want to make you aware of that. And so, and it's just been such a joy talking with you, spending time with you, and I just really feel like you've done really well.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed our time together as well. I feel like it's been extremely helpful.
And so, tell me a little bit about what you've been doing and how everything has worked for you.
I did start journaling as you suggested, and I feel like that really did help because I feel like once I put it on paper, I was able to release it. Yeah. And it didn't bother me. And so, able to go into work with it's a new day kind of attitude, and I feel like those of us at work, when something of one of the situations arises, we're able to kind of build each other up. Even though we can't change her, we can still support one another. And, unfortunately, we can't do anything about the patient or what the patient thinks, but I'm going to speak for myself, I'm not going to bear the burden of that because I can't. And so it's made it a lot easier to go throughout the workday. Again, like if a situation arises where I can't bear her burden. And so, I can do the best that I can do and do what I can do for the patient to the best of my ability and make it the most pleasant experience possible. But I also know that we're imperfect beings. I'm not going to please 100% of people 100% of the time, and there's going to be situations where things are going to happen. And I'm okay with that, and knowing that I'm an imperfect being and I can't, do everything for everyone and be everything for everyone.
Well, it sounds like you've really done a good job. Congratulations. You have really come a long way. Also, it sounds like you're like an advocate for the office. It sounds like what you've been doing has affected you in such a way, and you've gone to the office and you're sharing, so others have seen that change in you.
Right.
It's amazing how one person can make a big difference. So
right.
It kind of for me it sounds like you've been able to help other people because of the work that you've been doing on yourself and in yourself.
Yeah, I think when you change, others notice, and kind of what you're projecting. So it's made a big difference.
Yeah, just like the little shining little light in the office. It kind of sounds like. Yeah. So, have you noticed any change with your relationship with the person who?
I just kind of, when something like that happens, I remind myself it's not about me. And I'm okay, and it doesn't change my attitude towards her or the rest of the day. And so when I just remind myself that it's not about me, whatever comment or whatever the situation was, it's more about her. It's not about me. It's not about the patient. 95% of the time, it's something that has to do with her and why she's reacting the way she is.
And understanding that is huge.
Mm-hmm.
That is a huge thing, because like we've talked about in prior sessions, you really don't have any control over
Right.
anybody else, but you can work on how you respond
Right.
to the circumstances and everything. And once you get that past that, it really liberates you,
Right.
and helps you to
Absolutely.
see it in a different light.
Absolutely.
So as far as looking back and everything, is there anything that you, as far as things that you think you need to work on moving forward, or things that, or positive aspects of, are you happy that you did this, or
very much so.
Yeah.
Because I know we can talk to friends about situations, but sometimes you need an unbiased third party that doesn't know anybody involved to kind of, give you a different perspective that you may not be seeing, or somebody who knows the players in the situation, so I think it's been extremely helpful to get that insight from the outside looking in, and just ways to kind of manage it better.
Yeah.
And coping, different coping mechanisms to deal with it.
Right. Yeah, that it does make a difference when you. I think we love, like you said, we love talking to our friends, but sometimes it's good to talk to somebody who doesn't have a vested interest in us,
Right.
who can be arbitrary in the circumstance.
Right. Right.
It sounds like you're doing a great job. You're on your way moving forward, and you've got some really good tools in your tool belt to use at work,
Right.
to help you navigate past some of the circumstances that have caused you to feel like taking it personally. And with that being said, how are, as far as your headaches, and you were saying you're having stomach aches?
Yeah,
and
those have tend to decreased quite a bit. I think I've taking a lot of the stress off myself personally has helped. So I'm feeling better that way.
That's
most
so good.
definitely.
And as far as your running, how are you
getting stronger each day? Trying to get back into the gym, and so feeling good about it. It's been good.
Now I know you mentioned you were on a new way of a new lifestyle eating and everything, and I've noticed that as far as that, you've been really happy with that. You've talked to me about that over the sessions as well. So
yeah, it's made a big difference in just the way I feel physically. So that's really important.
Well, your self-care is making a difference. You've invested not only in your physical health, but in your mental health.
Right.
And that just is helping you all the way around.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm going to give you, as you leave at the reception, I'll have some resources, a list of resources and everything. And then, of course, you have our number here, and you have my cell number. So in the event that you have any kind of acute situation where, you need to talk, feel free to give me a call. I'll be happy to talk to you, happy to get you back in and everything. And I've enjoyed my time with you.
I appreciate it. It's been It's been a wonderful experience.
Well, that's great. And just know that we're here for you. And moving forward, if you need anything, we'll do our best to get you in, okay?
Thank you.
All right, Andrea, thanks so much.
All right, thank you.